Hey, let's go. Get in here. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. That's our first down. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody and we're taking downfield for a touchdown. I guarantee you that.
Guaranteed.
Look at me. Look at me. Let's go. We got 30 minutes. Let's go. For the rest of our lives. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Put your heart on the track. Hey, we got to go.
Hello everybody and welcome to a victory episode of DC Sports Daily. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah. Yeah. The Nats just won. And, frankly, come on. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to take credit for calling this. I did end the last episode on a huge pro-Nats rant. I said unequivocally that the Nats would win this series. Based off of the commentary from my father, Bruno Maestri. And, so far, I'm right. 1 for 1. 1 out of 2. There's so much to talk about. Before I start calling people for some rapid reactions, there's a couple things I need to get off of my chest. Number 1, Stephen Strasburg. I was infuriated about how this entire situation was handled. We got to get this out of the way right now because the negative storyline is the last thing that should be focused on right now. It is the last thing that should be focused on, and everybody focused on it enough for the 24 hours leading up to this game, okay? We were a joke. The organization was a joke. The way that we handled it was a joke. People were ripping Strasburg, Rizzo, Baker, Mike Maddox, anybody who could think of that was involved in this situation. They were being ripped in the national media, on Twitter, everywhere that you can think that people share their opinions. We were a joke. And I got to tell you, it infuriated me because it seemed like everybody lost perspective of something. And that one thing that people lost was we had to play a baseball game today. First pitch, 4:08 Eastern Standard Time, 3:08 in Chicago. There was a game that was being played today. A baseball game. And it didn't matter who we had on the mound. For me, preparing for this game, when the news came out yesterday that we were going to start Roark instead of Strauss, I was angry. I had the same reaction that I'm sure everybody else did. But, I gotta say, I got over it. I'm an adult. I don't want to take a shot at anybody, but I'm a grown person. I have a way that I deal with things, as I'm sure you all do. Okay, we were gonna start Roark. Whoop-de-doo, we gotta win 2 games. And Roark's going to pitch in one of them. I don't know if he's going to start tomorrow, but he's going to pitch. And he's been one of the guys that got us here. So, I got over it pretty quickly that Roark was going to start instead of Strauss. And I was okay with it. I don't care what the reason was. If they say Strauss can't go, Strauss can't go. I hated all the stories that came out saying that it was because Strauss didn't want the ball and that, he was a little pansy or he was soft or, anything like that. Because anybody who's watched this team, anybody who's watched Strasburg throughout his career knows that he's not soft. Yes, he's a guy who wears his discomfort on his sleeve, If he's not comfortable while he's pitching, if there's something wrong, even if it's something small, you will be able to tell. You will see, oh man, his calf's bothering him. Oh, his hammy's tight. Oh, his elbow's tweaked. Oh man, look at that. But bottom line is, Strauss wants to pitch. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and pursue the media and make sure that he has an interview somewhere saying, yeah, give me the ball right now. I want to pitch. The team's not letting me pitch. He's a guy that's going to talk to the powers that be and get the ball in his hands if he is willing and able to go. I shouldn't even say willing. People are going to run with that. If he is able to go in a situation that he should go in, he's going to pitch. He was furious when he got shut down in 2012. Come on. I mean, it infuriated me to no end. And if you are listening to this and also follow our Twitter account, I think this is not a knock on Corey. But he was kind of knee-jerk reaction tweeting today about this situation. He retweeted one tweet that said, if I was in the locker room, I couldn't bring myself to look Strasburg in the eye after this. That's the facts weren't out there. The bottom line was, look, yes, I was furious that he wasn't pitching. And it was something that I was dealing with. But at the end of the day, let me rephrase. At the beginning of the day, we still didn't know who was going to pitch. They had said it was going to be Roark, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I bet, who knows? Who knows? It's funny because we criticize this organization for being so poor with their communication, yet we buy into whatever they say. So it honestly didn't shock me as much as maybe it shocked some other people that, yeah, we said that Strauss was unavailable and then he ends up pitching. Yeah, that's the organization that you criticize for bad communication. They had poor communication, and look, it ended up working out to your advantage. So just lay off. I mean, all these knee-jerk reactions, it just comes down to the pressure that the whole city is putting on this team, on themselves for some reason. I realized it today. I went into this game with a sense of calm that I haven't felt in a long time. Because in my mind, the whole narrative was the Nats are going to lose this game. I don't know if anybody watched the pregame. The last 30 seconds on the pregame, it was whoever the heck hosts the TBS pregame, then Gary Sheffield, Jimmy Rollins, and Pedro Martinez. And the host goes, so after saying all that, does anybody think the Nats have a shot at winning this game? And there was, I kid you not, probably 10 seconds of silence while they all just stared at the camera. Then they all laughed. And they said, oh, well, there's your answer. And they cut to the game. So, I mean, yeah, the narrative was we weren't supposed to win this game. The Nats were not supposed to win this game. And you know what? That was refreshing for me because in every postseason game that I've ever watched, all the commentary has been the Nats are the favorite to win. The Nats are the favorite to win. They have to win or else it's an epic failure. It's a failure of epic proportion. Well, finally today we got a day where that wasn't the case. Everybody said if the Nats win, it's a miracle. If the Nats win, it's a miracle. Oh my gosh, there's no way the Nats win this game. All this chaos, all this off-the-field nonsense. Strasburg, there's no way he comes in and maybe the clubhouse is divided and all this, this and that, this and that, this and that. No. You know what? You know what happened? We came out and we played a baseball game. Ryan Zimmerman said it best before this game, or after the last game. I'm not, you know what? Don't quote me on exactly when this quote is from. Quotation. That is the proper terminology for all you grammar Nazis out there. But, he basically said, yeah, we're not in an ideal situation. The task before us is to win 2 games in a row. We've done that a lot this year. I'm paraphrasing maybe a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to the exact quote. So, I had a lot of text chains early on in this game that were blowing up. Drew, who we'll hear from shortly. That first inning, the second, I guess it was the second inning when the Cubs got runners on, and Addison Russell hit that deep fly ball. He was texting before that ball landed. He was, game over, season over, everything's over. It's the worst. We suck. The game over. We can't. Blah blah blah. No, you're wrong. Even if that had been a home run, you're still wrong. This is a baseball game. Nothing. I understand the postseason is different. It's not like the other 162 games that we played. But at the end of the day, it's the same game. There's still 9 innings. You still have the same number of opportunities to get runs, the same number of opportunities to get hits. And, I mean, just watch the game. We were having good at-bats, but after Trey Turner's first at-bat, all of the Nats at-bats were quality at-bats. You can nitpick here and there throughout the game. Wieters with a runner on second needs to move that guy over, but I mean, come on. We had a good approach at the plate. We were patient. The big thing with Arrieta is he throws a lot. Listen to FP. He'll preach this. He throws a lot of pitches that look like strikes that aren't. He wants to get you to chase early. We didn't. We came in with a good game plan against Arrieta, and look what we did. We put together good ABs. Yes, early on it was frustrating because we were hitting some balls hard, balls that you would hope would drop in, and they didn't. But we kept at it the whole game. We worked pitch counts. We worked at bats. We made good contact, and look what happened. I mean, at the end of the day, Corey's calling in right now. Hey, Corey.
Are we on?
Oh, we're on. I was just in the middle of my opening monologue.
Oh, I called at the wrong time. Sorry, guys. I
No.
don't like introing the podcast,
No, it's all good, man. I kind of just went on a long rant. So I would like to ask you one thing before we get going here. So, and this isn't an attack at all, because I'd say today was one of the most divided days of the Nationals fan base that we've seen in recent memory. A lot of people on different sides of this whole ridiculous situation. And you were handling our Twitter account most of the morning. And I picked out one tweet earlier in this so far in my opening little monologue here that I quoted, which was the one where it was said that if you were in the clubhouse, you couldn't look Steven Strasburg in the eye on a day like today. What I went on to say about that was that was part of the time period this morning where everybody was overreacting and creating basically their own narratives about this story that Strauss was, able to go but just didn't want the ball or something like that. So my whole point was that Nats, the pressure that Nats fans are feeling, maybe it's passion and just a desire for this team to win. I hope that's where this comes from. But I was preaching all day. You got to be free and easy, and you got to just, you're playing with house money. Just talk a little bit about your thoughts this morning, leading up to this game, and then of course give us your thoughts on the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously my background is just for passion. I hate to see us lose, and I hate the way we lose because you go for the past 5 years, you have the most wins overall in the entire MLB, and every single time you come to the postseason, you just lay an egg, and it's frustrating to see. And when you finally got a guy like Steven Strasburg, who you're paying $175 million, and the one opportunity he really had to be an ace in the postseason was in 2012, and we all know what happened. So when you hear terrible headlines and terrible stories that the team puts out about how he denied the chance, he was given the opportunity, and all he said was, I don't want it because I'm under the weather, that just provides me with a bad background, a bad taste, and it just makes me feel like, the reason we don't win in this playoffs is because we have no heart, we don't care. So that's really where my perspective was coming. And then you come to find out later on in the day that Strasburg all along said, I would give everything I got. This is my ball to take. This is what I want to do. I want to pitch no matter what. So it's just bad PR by the Nats. I guess it was a ploy all along. Dusty knew what he was doing, but it just sucks to hear. So that's where all my bad taste and bad comments on Twitter were coming from. Obviously,